Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I nearly said Instagram TV. What is happening to me? Okay, so it is Friday, so I hope you're all having a great Friday. And you know what video that is being released today? Well, I think some of you might know. So if you've been watching me on Instagram, I have been revealing that today is going to be the ghost video. It says it in the title. I think most of you know, I don't. But yeah, so today is going to be the ghost video. I know I said it would be out last week, but I'm really sorry. I had a problem with some footage. So it is definitely here for you, obviously, today. So I don't know, should I give you a little bit of background? Maybe. So Maverick and I started hearing some kind of footsteps, and I found out recently that he saw something. So I'm like, thanks for telling me now, Maverick. We've heard things, weird things have happened, and our friend Michelle was like, yo, you guys, I shouldn't say yo, you guys, she was just like, you guys, I think you should have a psychic over to your house just to see if they can pick up on anything. And it made Maverick and I feel better, so we didn't feel like we were being crazy. But yeah, so we planned the night, and you are going to see what happened that night, like pretty much now. So I'm sorry if it scares you or if it spooks you out, because I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit spooked out. But yeah, so as some of you know, it is Marilyn Monroe and Joe Dimaggio'S old house. So for us, we thought that would be awesome if it was Marilyn and Joe, because I think everybody would want that, I guess. And nothing bad. So I'm not going to spoil this video for you. I'm just going to let you watch it, and then you can let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you know when I release a new video. So without further ado, let's get started with the video, and I hope you enjoy. Bye. And then there's this one. We're saying about this one. This one has like a lock.
Interesting. Okay. The thing is that this did not used to be a bedroom. This was not used as a bedroom. Okay. So this was something else, and also just the energy in here, definitely not somewhere I would want to sleep. In my opinion, there has been a lot of movement in and out of here, but also this was like a place of like isolation, or where somebody really wanted their space. So I don't know what it was used for, but there's definitely been some changes. I know that you had mentioned that there maybe were some things on the wall or something like that, which obviously it's visible, but the energy in here, like, do you have people sleep in here?
My brother and his girlfriend stayed in here, and she said,
not for long.
No, well, they were here for. They stayed for like just over a week, and this bed broke, and he was like, we didn't do anything, we promised. And then it was like 2 a.m, Maverick, and then his. It was
a brand new bed too.
Yeah.
Broke within like the first week that they stayed here. Actually, it was 3 days.
3 days. It was a whole. The
steel frame just bent,
was
still in there.
And then my brother's girlfriend, she was sleeping here, and she said that she saw this door open.
Yeah, something about the space seems like it doesn't want people in here. Okay, so if you guys are going to use this as a guest room, I don't know if I would use this as a guest room.
Yeah. If you use this as a guest room, don't. Yeah.
And even if you keep it locked, I mean, I don't doubt she felt that, but more of my energy actually came from this door, because I feel like there's a lot of energy that goes back and forth from here, which is really strange, so it can be a lot more active. And the angles in this room are odd. When you have a lot more corners that have the depth like you have in here, you have a lot more spirit energy that builds, or stuff that can kind of get built up in here. So it's really important to keep these doors open. Okay, you try to make sure that you're airing it out. There's not a lot of flow in this room. Obviously, this is a closet. That's a closet. I know you have the overhead air vent up there, but I would keep the doors open. I don't know if you're going to have a lot of people who are going to stay in here. This is a man's room, also. You realize that. This is a man's room.
Because it's funny, because that before we looked at maybe the people had it before, the guys had it before us. This used to be like a bookshelf, like a library kind of thing.
Yes, definitely feels more like a study, kind of man cave-ish space. This is something about this. If it's utilized the right way, I feel like it could work, but I don't think you're going to have a lot of people staying in here. Okay?
Let's
the door locked.
Well, nobody likes staying here, so it works. It's perfect.
This is more where the energy changes. It's right here. Obviously, this is an addition, but something about this space and the space being changed and manipulated, it doesn't feel too pleasant. It feels more like it's really strange because I feel like everything in here used to be a lot more kind of narrow and kind of like stopped up. So yes, they've opened everything up, but there's been a sense of really kind of not really making the spirit so happy with making the changes here. Certainly it was really different. Maybe this was always kind of the dining area, but the kitchen setup was very different. And the way that the energy flows over this part of the house, the energy changes as you go down those stairs. So I'm sure we will go down there at some point. But there can be some locked up energy here. So is that a separate front door that's over here?
Yeah, it's just another door.
Okay, but is that like that's not the main front door? No, okay. I would clear out the stuff that's cluttering this space just for the sake of, I think there's a lot of stuff that's getting stopped up here because of the things that you have. I would clear everything out. I would keep this entire space clear because I think that that's actually kind of letting a lot of stuff kind of, I don't know, get blocked up. Do you notice that it gets like really chilly in here? Even when you don't have the windows open, you don't have the air on, it gets really cold. There's some cold winds that kind of come here that I can kind of feel, and definitely things that are watching us. Like there's a feeling of being watched. Even if you're in here or if you're facing the mountains or you're doing your thing around the sink, it would be a lot of stuff that's behind you. Stuff that's like behind you, watching you, kind of hovering around here. Be very careful around the stairs. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the energy of the stairs almost seems like tripping. And I'm not talking about the dogs, I'm talking about energy that's like trying to create a fall or trying to create
That's funny you say that because there was one time I did nearly fall.
You need to be really careful. Okay? Because it's there, and I don't know if it's something that's happened before, repetitively, and I'm not saying that because it's stairs, because anybody who has stairs in their house is going to be like, yeah, people fall, okay? But I can see that there has been accidents here, and it's happened before, okay? And also like arguments, fights, things that have happened on that stairwell, like you need to be really careful when you're going up and down it. Don't make sure you're paying attention, okay?
That's interesting. That's just weird that you're saying that now. Okay, what way do you want to go? Do you want to go
Let's go that way.
Okay.
Nice. Definitely nothing in here. There's nothing in here. This is probably the room that has felt the lightest thus far. So
We'll just sleep in here for me.
I don't know if I would sleep anywhere here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, this is there is a lot. There's nothing in here. There's just nothing in here, and I don't know if you felt that, but I don't really get the same feeling of like activity that I'm getting in other places in here. It's a lot more calm. Part of it might even just be, I mean, you've got a lot more light coming through here. There's a lot of different doors. There's a lot of energy. One thing I would say is cosmetically, yes, mirrors are great in front of the bed. Energetically, not so hot.
Okay.
So mirrors are portals. That's when you have energy come in and out of the space. So you may want to experiment at some point staying in this room, filling it out, seeing what you think, seeing how you like it. But be really careful having mirrors in front of the bed because you can have a lot of entities and stuff that can actually affect you while you're sleeping, and there can be a lot of stuff that can affect your sleep patterns if you have a mirror in front of the bed.
I didn't even know that.
Do you have one in the other room?
No.
Okay.
We just, well, it's not really in front of the bed, it's to the side.
Okay.
And she's,
Okay, that's fine.
I'll show you.
That's fine. But this directly in front of it, it can be a little unsettling for some people. But this room is it's very mellow. I'm not really getting anything in here.
okay.
Okay.
Let's move.
You guys have yet to have to deal with any real wiring of the house, huh? That'll be interesting when you
Oh my
guys have
gosh.
to do that because
That's gonna be-
there's going to be some major changes you guys are going to have to make electrically here. Not just because of the age of the house, but the energy of the house that needs to be redone. And you guys are going to have some interesting stuff with having to either move something that's related to the power source, or there's going to be something that's going to have to be shifted. It's not going to be in the same space.
Okay.
Okay?
There you go. So this is the closet.
Okay.
This is where I keep most of my clothes.
Nice. Okay.
And then there's the incinerator that was right there, and that's where we found how many magazines was it? 3, but we only kept 2 of them.
Yeah.
So interesting that they would have that in a closet.
I know.
Okay.
I know, that's weird.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Spooky, but that's fine. Well, thankfully, there's nothing really going on in your closet, so
Okay,
that's good. Not only do you have the recessed lighting, so they've done some changes in here, so there's some shifts with that. But is this where you actually get ready? Is this where you do your makeup and stuff? Okay, alright. Yeah, it's not spooky, but there is more feminine energy that hangs out in here. So it's not just because of doing makeup. This is definitely more like a feminine space, like somebody's claimed the space.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, because that's where I had that moment where I heard someone whisper.
Well, that makes sense because it seems like that may partially also be because it's connected to you, but something about this physical space and it being like this is the ladies' bathroom seems to be very significant. So, no boys allowed.
Yeah.
No more shitting in here, man. The funny thing is the bath and the hot water does not work in here at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said it's something to do with the gas, and they had to turn the gas off. And then they said, oh, if you wanted to fix it, it would cost thousands and thousands. So we're kind of like,
Yeah, something about it's gonna be. I mean, maybe that's connected to the gas. I'm a psychic. I'm not a contractor. Something about the electricity seems very wonky about this place. And when you go to make the changes in it, you're gonna be like, oh my god, because what it was built for and what you're going to use it for and how things react to electronics seems like it's going to be very different. So maybe you can fix the tub, maybe you can't, but it's interesting because I kind of get the impression that that's more temperamental. That may not necessarily be a forever thing. It might be when it wants to work, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Okay.
I would want it to work, or I want to go in. And there's the rest of our bedroom, and then that's where we have the mirror there. But I don't know.
Oh no, that's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
okay there. That's
Okay.
not an issue there.
It's 'cause it's not directly.
So definitely, there's a lot of energy throughout the closets here and the
Mhm.
spaces in here. I'm not gonna go in there, but
And you're finding quite a few.
there's definitely.
There's just men's clothes there. Disappointing. I'm sorry. You can go see it. I should probably clean mine off.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff.
Oh, it goes way back, huh?
Yeah, I can turn the light on for you. They're pretty bizarre closets.
Yeah, just something about the energy of this particular wall.
Yeah, she said she saw something standing right there.
You know, I feel like. Did you say that you got up and you turned the light on? Were you talking about the light in the closet? Or
This
that
one.
light? Okay. I would keep these closed.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of it might be that a lot of the energy, because this part of the house seems to absorb more of it, and the walls are darker, so that will absorb energy as well. I talked to you a little bit about before, you guys are buying and bringing in vintage clothes. You know, that can have a lot of attachment in itself. So you guys want to come up with a routine for either staging your stuff or clearing your stuff when you bring it in. But in my opinion, more of the energy in this space, and I think I told you this earlier, is just there's been some very intense emotions that have gone on in this house. I don't know what it is, I don't know what the story is, we'll get into it, but I do pick up 3 separate energies that are 3 separate spiritual energies. One being a very significant love affair that took place in this house between 2 people, really intense passion, trying to make something work, trying to make something come together. And I think that it's been a repetitive pattern of partners being in this space and trying to like really make something work. That I pick up a lot. I also pick up a man that is attached to a woman, and the woman seems to either fancy you or be around you or be interested in you, be interested in what you're doing. It's not negative, it's not hostile in any way. There is another male energy here that does seem a little bit kind of pesky. Definitely I can tell that this area, the property, the development of this particular neighborhood was in the 20s or the 30s, and I don't know anything about it. I'm not originally from here, but I can see that there was the development through this canyon up at that time, and I think that there is an energy here of somebody who was actually working on the development of this space that is attached to that seems to kind of like pulling pranks on you guys or bothering you guys or picking on you guys or doing things to kind of get your attention. Not evil, but that might be more of what you're picking up in this physical space. More, I think the positive outweighs the negative, that the passion and the love affair and the connections of, you know, of 2 people being together in this space, and it almost like being a hideaway or being like a lover's nest. That energy is very much in the house. So I wouldn't worry so much about the spooks that you're getting. I think there are things that you can do, and we'll talk about how you can clear the space out. But for right now, this room doesn't seem too much. I would say open up the doors and the windows and really let the air and let the light in, especially if you can do that like, you know, every month, and you can kind of clear the space out. It can be a little bit better for you, and maybe you won't have some stuff that's waking you up.
Yeah, that would be good. Because the one thing, actually, I just remembered there, when you walked into that bathroom upstairs with the bath, see that window there next to that toilet? We can't get it to open.
Okay.
It's just weird, and you said you felt something there. Like, we've tried, Maverick and I have tried, we just can't get it to open.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely that particular bathroom, there was something funny about that bathroom, and it not being too thrilled that there was something else that was on the other side.
There you go.
So you have disrupted that, and in the kitchen. I mean, obviously we have to renovate our houses, but something about the fact that the house has maintained most of the, you know, kind of structure and most of the skeleton of the inside, to me it seems really significant, because the house wants to stay the way that the house is. That's part of what this is, and that's maybe why you didn't start seeing some of the changes until you really moved in, because I think they've had so much back and forth and people in and out of the house and either renting it or not staying long or not taking it seriously, and then you guys were like, no, we're here. So now the spirits are like, okay, well, how long are they going to stay? So I think that's really what's going on. So you just got to claim it. That's all. You just got to claim the space.
Okay, well, we need to do that, Maverick. So how would you claim the space?
Well, you guys can find a way to, you know, like I said, you can do a ritual, you can have a white fire, so you can burn something to purify and kind of bless the space and bring all the good energy in, and agree to share the space with beings as long as they're willing to respect you and not give you guys a hard time or wake you up. Or, you know, I think that all in all, especially the more feminine energy, she means well. It's more of a connection to you. And I think you're going through a period where your intuition is becoming a little bit stronger or a little bit more intense, or there is some sense of you kind of waking up and kind of being more aware of stuff. And perhaps it was more triggered just by actually moving into this space and kind of coming into that right now and being more aware of things. But I think just talking to it, you know, the rule of thumb is you tell it 3 times. So if you tell something to leave, you tell it 3 times, it's got to go. You can snap or you can clap, and you can break up the energy in the space, because spirits will react to that if it's something that's agitating you or bothering you. But it can be triggered also with intense emotions. If there's a lot of arguing going on, if there's a lot of passion going on, if there's a lot of back and forth or lighting or things like that, vibrationally the spirits will respond to that. So if there's a lot of really intense things going on in the house, you will see that it'll peak during times where you're having those experiences.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We haven't looked into ourselves, but
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, you are kind of in this little in-between in the valley here. You get a lot of elemental spirits. You get a lot of weird, funky energies and stuff that'll come here through the nighttime. And I remember saying to you, you know, if you get any knocks on the windows or any knocks on the doors or anything like that, don't open it. You know, spirit will come in 3 knocks, so don't go opening anything. But all in all, this is actually really calm. There's nothing out here that really kind of freaks me out.
No, that's good. Yeah, no, we like spending time out here.
Yeah, and being that the whole house is facing the valley, it's interesting because, you know, during the daytime, like I said, you'll get just as much activity as the nighttime. It doesn't have to happen at night. It might be something that peaks up a little bit at night, but you'll have still activity during the day because you have all the energy flowing through here.
Okay.
Well, we did talk about also the activity in the hallways.
Yeah.
I do feel that, but I think that it's because you've got the tunneled energy that goes from here to here. It might be good if you guys put a little bit of salt out in the hallway. You put like a dish somewhere. I know you've got doggies, but maybe you can put something over here, or you can put something in the living room just to clear it, because I kind of feel like there's footsteps that will go through here.
That's funny you should say that, because we feel every night we hear footsteps. And maybe the first night we were here, right, Maverick? And we heard it, and then we were like, maybe we're just hearing things.
Oh, no,
maybe it was the cars driving past or something. And then the next day we got up, he ran up the stairs, and he was like, we were like, no, it seems too heavy. But then when I ran up the stairs, he was like, it seems a bit lighter.
Yeah, no, it seems like there's a lot of activity through here. You know, and look at, there used to be a door here. So, you know, the energy used to be stopped, so now it can run free.
yeah.
I don't think it used to have that. The energy, part of it is the house. It's got a lot of corners and stops and turns and doors and things. So it's going to kind of do its own thing. You're going to have a lot of energy that's going to get stopped up and it's going to be active. But I told you when I pulled up, one of the first things that I noticed is that my ears were ringing. Like I heard like a really high frequency. Generally speaking, that's not bad. It just means that there's like some kind of spiritual energy that's going on that I'm picking up on. Lower frequency stuff that's more negative, I kind of hear it more as like a hum. So there's nothing negative here, but there's definitely a lot of activity that's going on. But I think that part of it is also because you guys are running a lot of creative stuff that's going through the space, or you're working on a lot of things and it's attracted to that. It's especially attracted to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's good energy, or
it's good energy. The one thing I will say is about the older energy of either the person who's from this space, who worked on the space, the development of this area, somebody who might have been a contractor or a builder or something like that. That seems more like he's just kind of interested and kind of inquiring to see who you are. So that energy, you can tell him to go, and if you want, I can clear some space out and do some stuff for you before I leave. But there's nothing negative here. I really like the couple energy and the fact that there's been like a lot of like passion and stuff going on in this house. So that seems to be most interesting to me.
Okay, that's interesting. Shall we sit down and
Sure.
we'll talk about it more?
Sure.